So I'm going to leave the name out of it right now, but I went to a medical facility. I don't know if people are noticing it, but they've gotten really bad these days. This one I've had a lot of trouble with, and I could tell you some stories, but I don't know how long I'm going to keep you just staring at this piece of paper, these numbers that don't make any sense. I had called in earlier this year. I'll try to keep this as concise as possible. I'd called in earlier this year needing an appointment. I'm hypothyroid. I needed medicine. And rather than just get it, I had to have some kind of checkup. I got to keep you really strung on to spending a bunch of money. Anyway, I was stressed out about it. I knew that the medical facility itself was not to blame, and I wasn't blaming them, and I wasn't cussing, wasn't really doing anything all that bad, but I was obviously frustrated and stressed out. And couldn't get an appointment quick enough. And the woman, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just went off on me and hung up on me, which is a strange reaction for a medical place. Well, I had trouble even getting back, and I finally got, I think, some nurse there in the back had scheduled an appointment, got the medicine, had another appointment, and that seemed to go okay. Okay, this particular time, this appointment, because I needed it again. I had to get the blood work. Well, I didn't write down my appointment, so that's on me. But I kind of expected I'd get some kind of reminder, some kind of confirmation or something like that. And I wasn't. I was letting it get closer to it, and I was like, surely they'll tell something to confirm it. Didn't send me anything, didn't leave a message. So I'm at work, had to make these calls to try to get in touch with them. I only got limited time I can do that. 10-minute breaks and one 30-minute break, and could not get anybody to answer. And it was the last day before I had to do the appointment. It was yesterday. Well, somebody had tried to call me from there. The facility had tried to call me. I don't know who. And, of course, missed me because I wasn't on break. And every time I would call on break, I'd get no answer. So after work, surprisingly, it looked like I could call them again. They left a message and didn't leave my appointment there. Could have been that simple. They try to act like it's a process. They couldn't do that. That's a stretch. But be that as it may, I go to call them. And it's like, I just need to know when my appointment is. That's all it is. Please just tell me my appointment. And they put me on hold. And here I am listening to this music. And it goes on and on and on for about 4 minutes. And all of a sudden you hear somebody, the music cut off, somebody's coming back on. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm ready to talk. All of a sudden they hang up on me. And then I call back and they hang up on me again. And then just nothing but ringing, nothing but ringing, nothing but ringing. And I knew that particular number, which is the phone I'm holding in my hand here, I knew, this is the one they left the message on and all that. And they'd try to call, and she'd claimed she'd call the other one, and then started claiming some weird number that didn't match up with it. And I saw one number, I think, try to call. I'm not sure when that was. I think just one time. I'm supposed to try to send a text. All this stuff they're telling me. And she told me some number that didn't make any sense, that I wouldn't have given. Some just gibberish number. Okay, now to top all that off, I finally figured out when my appointment was. I came in, and I'm filling out. I got to do all this stuff all over again like I've never been there before, which seems a little odd. None of it had the phone number on it, so I had to specifically get my phone number in that account. Well, she asked what it was. The woman at her desk asked what it was. Now, here's the problem, and here's why I've got you staring at this. Okay? So we're going to pretend like this is the number of the phone that I'm holding, which is the number that they were calling on the most. I think they managed to call one on the other one. Obviously, neither one of these is my number. They're made up. Okay, but let's say this is the iPhone that I'm holding in my hand. And this is the one where they had called the most and they had left the message on the voicemail. So this was fully functioning. Okay? This was the one that's supposed to be questionable. They had down wrong. Well, when the woman asked me what my number was, I gave them the iPhone number. And she typed it in. She didn't say anything. So I was like, what number was in there? And she said, oh, it was one number off. Oops. Because here's the problem, people, for y'all playing along at home. If this is the number they had reached me on, how was it one number off? This would have been the number that would have been off. And it was more than one number off according to what she gave me. So that woman at the desk lied to my face. Which means the woman I was speaking to on the phone, which may have actually been one of the nurses, also lied to my face. What is going on? So I'm never going back there again. Somebody explain this to me. How people think that you can be... This is not a nail salon. You know, it's all women there. This is not a nail salon. This is not a video game store. And see, for me, I can only lose my temper so much with women. It's not that I'm a pushover. It's not that I let them run me over. It's that there's a lot of men that abuse women, and I don't know what those women have been through. A-holes as they may be, and clearly they are. I mean, I had that disappointment. Everybody seemed all nice and everything, other than the fact that they had to have lied to my face because they stepped on their own lies. Because again, if this number was the one that was off, how were they calling me? It had to have been the other number. They had to have had the first number completely right. Or else they couldn't have left all those numbers. They couldn't have left had all those missed calls, couldn't have left the voicemail. So that was a lie. As a matter of fact, that other number couldn't have got in there. I would have had to put it in there wrong myself. What are the odds of that? That I put a completely wrong number in there. Now there is a possibility, as far as that number goes. It didn't sound super familiar. It sounded kind of like gibberish. That it was because it is a chain medical place. And again, I keep it anonymous for now. But it's a chain. In other words, there's one in a city that I previously lived in or nearby. So it could have been an older number. There's a possibility that it was an older number. It sounded vaguely familiar, but it still sounded a little off. But, you know, even if you can cover for that, you can't cover for a fact that they said this number here was one off. Like if this was my number, it'd be 1235. But yet this is the one that I had all the missed calls on and the voicemail. So that cannot be true. Something's wrong here. All it is that I can figure is that first call earlier this year pissed somebody off, and they decide they're going to make my life hell every time I tried to schedule an appointment there, and they've been carrying it on. And she also, when I pitched that idea to the nurse back there and finally got on the phone, she acted like, well, I don't think that would be true because most of the people that work there here then don't work there anymore. Well, you said most, okay? I didn't call her out on that. She said most. And also, I got a good memory and I can remember names, and I'm hearing some of the same names. So again, that's not going to fly. You're lying to my face. All you have to do is treat me decent. That's all you got to do. But like I said, I can only get so mad with women because I don't want... It bothers me just to even see men getting verbally aggressive with women, because I feel like a lot of times they're capitalizing on the fact that the woman doesn't know what they're going to do. You know? They think they might get violent, and they're using that. And to me, that's almost the same thing. So that's the situation. I'm kind of stuck on that. But certain people you've got in professional... That's what makes me so mad when somebody tries to act like somebody's automatically a better, smarter person because they had a college degree. Bull crap. They told me several lies that me, as a Mr. GED, completely debunked in seconds. And they're cruel, hateful people. I kid you not, some of the people there, and I know there might be some nice ones too, but then again, they might just be being nice to my face. Some of the cruelest, most hateful people I've ever met in a medical facility. I've met some bad ones that were veterinarians as well. And I've met some hack dentists. It cost me a fortune for nothing. So be careful out there. I mean, just because somebody is a professional and they got a college degree and all that doesn't mean they're smart, and it doesn't mean they're a decent person who cares about anything other than all the money they might make.